Here at Gamunda Cove, and it is the year 2024-2023A, or those of you who are what we call Pantang. So we spent New Year's here with my family. We had a jolly good time right here with some alpacas. Did you know that apparently you can rent alpacas in Malaysia? A random tidbit that you did not know. So I thought it'd be nice to think about lessons from the past year, although maybe not while I was hanging out with alpacas. 2023 was a year really of great change and profound challenge for many people. Economically, there were many people who were facing war, struggle and strife along the way. And also, there was profound economic challenge as we dealt not only with opening up, but also with the contradictions and difficulties associated with the pandemic along the way as well. But yet, somehow or another, I found myself pensive and thinking mostly about the future of the country that I live in. I think it's pretty blasé to be nationalistic in 2024, but it still is a part of me. And even now, in 2024, I find myself thinking more and more about ways in which I can actually contribute towards my home, towards the world out there. My hope for this year is that we will move closer towards being able to look at Malaysia on the world map and say, hey, that's my country, I'm proud of it. But we are still a ways away from that in some ways. The challenges that Malaysia faces are manifold. Malaysians are faced with a cost of living crisis. We see the price of rice going up, the price of onions going up, the exchange rate being at all-time highs against the Malaysian ringgit, whether you look at the SGD or you look at the USD. It's pretty crazy, and it doesn't really help that we're also in the process of extricating the pirates of our country out there. And that's a challenge that's continually developing along the way. But at the same time, we've come into a new political era in many ways, and I think that we're in a very sensitive period because people don't really know what change actually looks like, what it could be. But in 2024, I hope that we'll see more political will to make difficult decisions to improve the lives of the people around us, not just from a moralistic point of view or ideological point of view, but instead in terms of standards of living, in terms of making things better for the majority of people, improving our economic structure, and a whole bunch of other things. I think that there are many strong individual Malaysians. You've seen them all on this channel in many different ways. Proof that Malaysia is capable of producing that kind of talent. But as I think about Malaysia, I think Malaysia is kind of like a collection of wild plants more than it is a garden. It's a place where Olympiad medalists, screenwriters, movie directors, all sorts of artistic and cultural talent, if only we could fund and support more as members of this Malaysian community, I'm confident that we'd be able to go into this era with a much stronger position in the days ahead. As we kind of move forward into the era, I hope we're going to see more productive discussions and dialogues across people really of different races, rather than just defaulting to our enclaves and our little echo chambers at the end of the day. But even having said all of that, going into the new year, I've come to realize that if you focus always on the bad stuff, then you're only going to get the bad stuff. There's a lot to be thankful for in this year as well. So many things to just begin with. Grew my online business, created my very first online course, wrote 3 books, created a website that had thousands of monthly viewers, started a few group classes for Ascendant Academy, ended up getting the SALTA certification after suffering. Just along the way had lots of fun, traveling, experiencing the world, and doing lots of things out there that I didn't know that I would be able to. As we kind of go into 2024, there are many people that I want to thank for being a part of this journey right here. I think one very immediately obvious thing to be thankful for is for all of you. So thank you for watching this channel and for your subscriptions, your comments, and for the feedback around the world that gives me motivation and the muse essentially to continue doing what I'm doing right here. Of course, I want to thank my family and friends for supporting me throughout the entirety of 2023. Thank you to everyone who's ever been interviewed on this channel. Thank you so much for having conversations with me that inspire not just the people who watch this channel, but also me as well, who is privileged to be able to share your stories with so many different people out there in the world. Shout out to members of Mensa from across Singapore, Korea, Indonesia. I love you guys. I still have my suspicions about IQ in a whole bunch of different ways, but I'm glad to have met all of you and to have received your friendship. Thank you for the discussions from everything ranging from Amos, Yi, polyamory, a whole bunch of other things along the way that I continually appreciate and continually grow from. A shout out as well to the hiking gakis out there. Thank you for the hikes. I'm not on one with you today because I'm here in Gamuda Cove, of course. But thank you so much for a constant source of company, for working out day in and day out. So as we come to the beginning of the year, I hope that there are various things that I will improve upon from the last year. I definitely hope to be more motivated by planning rather than just giving in to bursts of inspiration or impulse. I think that those take you a certain way right here, but they don't really take you all the way. I also hope to invest more time in talking to people. You earn all that money, but then you don't really spend it, or you don't really go out and interact with people right there. There is no joy in just collecting treasures for yourself without really just relating to the people around you. Moving forward, I hope to take it more easy on myself as well, but not in a lazy way, but instead rather by planning and making systems that make life easier in a whole bunch of different ways. I think that you need to be easy upon yourself, but I also think that you need to balance that with being able to just plan out things so that life becomes easier for yourself, right? Because freedom isn't something that you can just claim for yourself. If you want freedom, but not the gifts that come along with good planning, just sit on the couch and do absolutely nothing at all. And yes, that's about all the time we have for today. So thank you so much for watching, and I will look forward to seeing you soon.